Who's running their sprinkler system?
All right, everyone, we are live. Welcome to the Neo Gaia Fantasy Virtual Desktop Experience. I am James Webster, aka HCMJ, proud member of Death's Dynamic Shrouds. Everyone, please.
Yeah. Me too. Well, I'm not James, but I'm part of Death's Dynamic Shroud. I'm Tech.
I'm Kevin. I'm Equip.
Hello, I am Mark, also known as R23X, VHS Stills, and Video 20XX.
We changed positions. We're in different spots this time.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
always going to be a little different. It's always going to be a little weird. This is the virtual desktop experience, and that's the way technology is, a little different and a little weird. So everyone here can see that we have this beautiful Z-SNES, ZSNES, whatever you called it. If you had a DOS-compatible computer and were into emulation in the early 2000s, chances are that you will recognize this. Mad props to Kevin Equip for making the template for me to put all these windows together here. Incredible job. Even nailed that cursor with a super deep shadow. So
Beautiful.
it's a nice
Thank you.
job on that. So
Appreciate
it's also worth noting that so we are accepting donations today at neogaia.tv, but all of those donations, 100% of them, are going to the NAACP
Legal Defense
Fund. Yes, thank you. And so when this stream is over, we'll be posting exactly how much money went towards that. But obviously, civil rights organizations need all the help they can get right now, as freedom is quite literally under attack in America. And so that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. I don't want to make this a huge political podcast, but I feel that I do need to speak up here for a second, not to be just another white voice in a choir of white voices, but I think a few things need to be made abundantly clear about Neo Gaia, who we are, why we do this, and what we stand for. So, I tried to make it clear last week that, what we're doing here, it's bigger than just us going to Japan and putting on another tour. Neo Gaia has a very real investment in this idea of vaporwave being this cultural bridge between two completely different worlds and completely different scenes. And there's such an opportunity for mutual understanding and for meaningful exchange between artists and musicians and champions of the arts, and that's what this is all about. So, we see vaporwave, as Sutta ACA said in the Neo Gaia Legend movie, that at first in Japan they thought that vaporwave was some kind of strange joke, right? And I think that that's what a lot of people, including myself, thought about vaporwave at first. But what we've seen through our tours in Japan and the people that we've met and our current interactions with these people, that it really has acted like this cultural bridge that is really helping to bring these two completely different worlds together. And so we're here to explore that, to cultivate that, to nurture these relationships, and to provide a platform to give these people a voice as well. So, as you saw in our Neo Gaia Legend documentary, we're working with a translator to get Japanese voices heard in America, in North America, in Europe, talking about vaporwave and what it means to them and their perspective on its history. It's when I was in Japan, it's when the new masterpiece Vaporwave Guide came out, that beautiful, beautiful volume. And then at the same time, there was a highly prestigious Japanese art magazine that published an entire volume of scholarly
Eureka
essays.
magazine.
Yes, Eureka, thank you. Of scholarly essays about vaporwave and its socio-political implications. And all of that is in Japanese language. We can't read it. So those are the kind of people that we want to be able to give a voice to on our platform. So yeah, long story short, we're here for cultural curiosity and mutual understanding. So when civil liberties are threatened, that we're going to be on the side of mutual curiosity and understanding between nations and people. and the xenophobia that has been gripping the nation is not what we're about. So, and as far as what's been going on recently, you know, a lot of people have been saying a lot of things. I've been a little vocal on Twitter specifically, but, you know, at the end of the day, the only thing that's important is that everyone understands what is actually happening, you know, because there's been a lot of talk about the protests, they're rioters and they're looters, and so everything that's happening right now is invalid. That's the message from that side of people, right? And the all the trolls that are taking glee and pointing out all of our, you know, hypocrisy because, you know, buildings are being destroyed, therefore nothing is at stake. But it's so much bigger than that. You know, those types of people, the memers and the trolls and the people just trying to get under your skin right now, you just have to completely ignore them because they literally feed off of getting you pissed off. And so the moment that you give them anything, you give them an inch, that's exactly what they want, because suddenly you've provided the platform for their voice, you know? And I can't imagine anything more irrelevant right now than kind of fashy, you know, vaporwave alumni posting memes. Like, who fucking cares? What's at stake is so much bigger than what's happening on Twitter right now. Kevin lives in Chicago, and I live in Philadelphia. Both of our cities, like, it'll be illegal for me to leave my house in 20 minutes because there is a curfew on. You know, the nighttime is full of the sound of police helicopters whirring overhead. I mean, it's real as fuck here. You know, protesters, right? Like, peaceful protesters, like privileged white participation trophy, whoever you want to make fun of for going out and protesting, like, those people are getting tear gassed right now. They are being charged by lines of police officer in paramilitary gear, right? It's not somebody else's problem. And I think that's something that a lot of privileged white people, myself included, are dealing with right now, is that, you know, in the past, we would see stories about police on black violence, and we would think, man, that's awful, that's horrible. As a liberal and someone who, you know, values human life, I find this horrifying, right? But I think that we still, in our ugliest part of our heart, felt like it was someone else's problem because the police weren't going to shoot us, you know? But I think that something that is happening right now is that white people whose hearts are uglier than even mine, who had completely compartmentalized that as someone else's problem, are having to open their fucking eyes to what's going on around us. Where, you know, we have almost, you know, 39,000 police officers in New York City working round the clock, you know, 24/7. I mean, that's a small army of, you know, people in literal military gear, driving tanks down the streets, stopping people from exercising their First Amendment right. Like, the right to assembly is literally the very first thing that they amended the Constitution with. I mean, that is the thing that, you know, when I was a kid, my privilege allowed me to have blind faith in one aspect of America, and that was you were allowed to protest here, and you were allowed to speak your mind, and you're allowed to go into the street and say whatever the hell you want. And I always saw that as a shining ideal, as the one thing that made America truly, truly special. And that is literally not true right now. You literally cannot do that without being violently assaulted or killed or threatened to be. I mean, I don't know if you've been seeing the videos that are coming out, but I mean, there was someone had a stand down with a tank in a suburb in California, you know, and it's not like crazy people going nuts, breaking windows, burning down buildings, looting and rioting. These were people with signs in the street in the middle of the day without a curfew, peacefully protesting, and the cops rolled in with fucking tanks. So, you know, and also that imperialistic privilege that's been indoctrinated in all of us makes us believe that, oh, tanks in the streets and people burning down cities, that's something that happens in other countries, but that doesn't happen in America, you know. We go out and we protest and we feel good about ourselves and we go home and then, you know, we petition our politicians and everything is fine. But again, that's no longer the case when you have literally the President of the United States tear gassing his citizens in the middle of the day to break up a peaceful protest so he can walk to do some weird dog whistle photo op for his evangelical Christian base or whatever. So look, I don't want to get too political, right? But this is a moment where something very, very serious is happening in this country, and canceling vaporwave producers and posting memes and all of that shit is completely meaningless. The stakes are higher than any of us can possibly imagine right now. We are literally facing fascism, and I've never used that word for the entirety of this Trump administration and all of this shit, you know, because it's like, let's not get hyperbolic about politics, let's not use incendiary rhetoric to rile up the masses, but like, no, when the cops come out and prevent you from speaking your minds, that's fascism, and that is what is happening right now all around us. So anyway, that's pretty much my piece about it. Just when it comes to trolls, my advice is just mute, don't even block, you know, that's just another, that just makes them even happier, you know. Just mute, ignore, do not engage, do not respond, focus on what's happening right now. The videos are all streaming into Twitter all the time of these, you know, hundreds and hundreds of examples of absolutely brutal actions by our nation's police departments on its own citizens in nonviolent protests. And that's what we need to be sharing. That's what we need to be focusing on. That's what you need to be sharing with your racist relatives who say that, well, they're all looters and rioters, and so they deserve it. Because I don't think that that story is the story that's getting out. It's that our cities are being destroyed by looters and rioters, and so they have it coming. That's kind of my little piece about it. That's why we're donating our all revenue from tonight goes to the NAACP, Justice for George Floyd, Black Lives Matter. I don't know what else to say. Just please, if you are in a city, one of these major cities that's being locked down with curfews and protesters are being gassed and fired upon, you know, please be safe. Do whatever you have to do. COVID-19 is still happening. It's real. 1,300 people died yesterday in Brazil. 1,300 people died, okay, from COVID-19 in a single day in South America. It's still something that is happening in this world. So be safe, wear a mask. I don't know what else to say.
I was just going to say, one of the things that really sucks, especially on Twitter with regards to trolls and stuff, is that it's so incredibly tempting to dunk on people when they're like acting like idiots. I mean, like, I have typed and deleted many things, but yeah, like, truly just don't respond to people who are trolling. Just ignore, just like let it go. It's just like with advertisements too. Like, instead of making fun of fucking Cheerios or whatever for saying something incredibly stupid, just ignore it and move on. But yeah, but I do get it though.
and especially the people that are like, oh, you're just virtue signaling, or oh, the white self-flagellation, you know, this is so pathetic, whatever. You know, it's like, this is my fucking country too, and there are tanks in the street. And so I have a problem with that. And if you don't, like, that's cool. And like, post your memes and jump into your rat-infested DMs and, you know, have your little circle jerk or whatever, while claiming that we're all in an echo chamber. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm looking out my window and watching clouds of tear gas drift down the street. So shut the fuck up. Reality exists. And it's not Twitter, and it's not the timeline. It's not this podcast. It's not our faces. It's out there, and it's happening right now. So, yeah, sorry. That's my piece. If anyone has anything else that they'd like to say about it, just, you know, the biggest takeaway that maybe you're not hearing enough is just don't engage with these people, because it's literally the least important thing that is happening right now.
There's no use in further drawing lines in the sand, you know, like I had to leave
Yeah,
Twitter and
did you
Instagram.
deactivate? Did you deactivate?
No. I have some bad baked in daily habits, which include like waking up and like just going to Twitter on my phone while I'm making my coffee. So I cleared the apps from my phone, and I'm just gonna take a little break from social media in general. It's gotten to be a bit overwhelming. So yeah, I think it's better for everyone involved.
I wish I wasn't so addicted to it, but there's just no way I could stop. Thank you
Thanks,
very
Sad
much, Sad
Weeb.
Weeb.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Truly.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, also the big stream tomorrow is going to be taking donations.
That's true. I believe George is matching them too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't remember
that's
which.
sick.
I think.
Yeah, you
Don't
just
take
set
my
him
word
up.
for it. Yeah, I just set him up. Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I don't know what it's being donated to though. Unfortunately, sorry. Maybe if 100's in the chat, they can let us know.
Possibly the bail funds. I'm not sure.
The bail funds. Okay.
I haven't kept up with any like non-news stuff in days, so I don't know. I'm sorry. But yeah, they're donating too. Yeah, it's.
Are there donations that are coming in that aren't showing up on our screen?
I don't think so. They should be.
Don't know.
And anything from neogaia.tv. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. If we post that in the chat there. Sorry, getting kind of meta here. Thank you, Eugenio Battaglia. Thank you very much.
You're the best.
1320.
Hell yeah.
Anyway.
Well, what have you guys?
Yeah, there's no segue from that. So.
What have you guys done for joy, if you have had any over the past week?
I now make music full time.
Really?
My last day of work was on Friday.
No way.
Whoa.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Tech.
Congrats, Tech. Holy crap.
Thank you.
You truly saved that for the stream. That's amazing.
You can lie
yeah. Try not to.
I
pull
knew.
Everything in the...
I knew.
Congrats, Tech. You deserve it.
It's terrifying, but I've saved up money and gone about it as smartly as possible. But it kind of came down to just at a certain point, in order to, when you work 40 hours a week, and like I liked my job, it was fine.
Did you though?
I did. I really did. Like I like the people I worked with and stuff. It was in an office.
Okay, fair enough.
But at a certain point, you work all day and then you come home and you just like absolutely don't want to have anything to do with anything that'll take energy, like making music even. So in order to like do more, I've decided to pursue it full time. And like I said, it's pretty scary. But now when you buy things that are Dust Dynamic Shroud, you are helping me eat. So thank you for
I'm
doing
predicting
that.
a huge wave of reissues and T-shirts and floppy disks and cassette tapes and
I will say there's
all 9 yards.
There's a whole bunch of stuff on the horizon for Dust Dynamic Shroud for sure.
Yeah, beyond just the new album, there's stuff that Tech and I have been thinking about, fantasizing about, and dreaming about for literally years now. That's gonna go down. So please look forward to that.
Yeah, now that I'm not working full time there anymore, I can focus way up more on making a lot more music and making more hashtag content for everybody. So
Sad Weeb's asking about a wax cylinder. That if we'll release a wax cylinder, the answer is no.
No, I don't believe we'll be doing wax cylinder. Maybe someone else will though.
Mega Tower 4 cassette box set. Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? That'd have to be pretty special, though, I think so.
It needs to look like a tower.
Oh, thank you. 100% Electronica's in the chat also letting us know about donations that have been coming through that we're not getting the notifications for.
Weird.
So,
okay.
So thank you, PJ Rourke. Thank you, T-Monk1.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you, Vape Nation.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
It's it's like I'm not brave enough to go out into the world and stand in front of a tank. Like I'm a coward. I'm not brave enough to do that. You know, I was out there when I was 18, 19, 20, you know, protesting George W. Bush, but we were all safe. You know, we all knew that we were safe. It was fine, whatever. And now that the stakes are higher and there's pandemic in the air and people are getting shot, I'm not there, and I recognize that. So what can I do? I can donate to the causes where people need money to keep this fight going. And I can just be vocal and normalize being vocal, you know, and normalize not being silent. And
yeah, I think. Oh, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to kind of harp on a point there that you just made. I think there's like a big. Oh, thank you, Enrail. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I do think there's like a weird stigma to being sincere or being honest or talking about these things that maybe comes from, I don't know, a culture of irony or something. And I experience it too. It's why I usually don't say things that are openly political online, because you don't, it's like a weird, like, I don't, it's like somehow lame or something. But and there's also the potential to be perceived as like virtue signaling. And I think when you see a fucking like Pepsi ad, like trying to like use Black Lives Matter to sell more poison, then that is virtue signaling. But when people are really just trying to help, fucking, even if they're doing it for attention, it's sincerely better than not saying anything at all, or than just straight up ignoring it. So yeah, anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off, James.
No, that's a great point, you know. Like all the hypocrisy coming out of the music industry, you know, yesterday. Yeah. It was like, are you joking me? Like, the fuck? You know, like this is like an industry built on. We don't have to get into all that. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, like that was just that was pretty amazing.
If Spotify wants to make a difference, maybe they'll, you know, chip artists more than 0.04 cents per play.
Yeah.
They could really do a lot of good pretty quickly and only minimize a couple, you know, billionaire salaries. But
right.
I don't know how all that works. I don't know how many moving pieces are in the equation. So, yeah.
There was an interesting moment though when I was calling out celebrities for being insincere, and someone on Twitter said that I was a celebrity, and so I shouldn't criticize them. For the record, I am not a celebrity. Unlike Kevin and Tech, I still have a full-time job that I have to go to, and it sucks.
Hey, I'm still in the scared as hell, in the deep end part of quitting my full-time job. So
I have roommates.
I don't
own a car.
Less than I made.
I don't know what you want
from me. Kevin, you just put out like a new mixtape in your
I did
in the Eclipse Picks,
I'll
right?
turn up the background music.
The Eclipse Picks Patreon, yeah. It was an idea inspired by Mark asking me to do those two. The Yeti has this series called the X series, and the first record was Guardia, the X X Zone sessions, or sorry, no, Guardia, the X Strike sessions is the new one, and that's Chrono Trigger remixes. And geez, I'm forgetting the name of the first one. Mark, help me out here.
Oh, it's Fortuna Sector X sessions.
That's right.
Yeah, it's confusing.
So yeah, Mark has curated these, and they're like licensed cover albums for, you know, the first one's for Star Fox and the new one's for Chrono Trigger. But I kind of like took that idea and rolled with it, and the latest mixtape I did for the Patreon was all N64 covers, and I took like votes on, you know, what to cover, and I will admit I did use pre-existing MIDI files I found online as a starting point.
Can you link to any of this in the chat so we can pull this up in our browser mode here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if you won't be able to see the Bandcamp because it's on private. But that was something I wanted to mention too. Is I feel like I'm thinking about switching the Eclipse picks to Bandcamp subscription mode. So I'm starting to see some limitations with the Patreon UI and how it keeps track of, who gets what benefits. So I'm thinking about switching to Bandcamp. But yeah, I'll send you my homepage on the Patreon. You can at least
Let me just go into browser mode.
Your fan club is great. I'm actually in your fan club, and
Mark is in it.
Great experience.
Waiting on you guys. Just kidding.
Yeah. That's that.
We'll trade Patreons when you guys get the DDS one going. How about that?
All right, yeah, we'll just pay each other.
Yeah.
That's really cute with little tabs there in the browser and the input device.
Yeah.
That's
classic Zed SNES.
Yeah, and I
here.
kind of messed this up because I made this overlap for the Skype window too high. Yeah, that's my bad, everyone. Because if I drop this below, I don't know. I mean, this is better for me.
I sent you guys the wrong first link, but the second one has it. You can at least see the awesome artwork that Drew Wise contributed.
Did you send it to Skype?
I did not. I sent it to our text. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm not sure if you have iChat up or not. Here's the
Yeah, I got it. We're good.
window.
Oh, the art is very cool.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go.
It's just fun to pull it out.
Pull it open, yeah. It cuts me off too. That's why you like doing it.
Desktop experience.
Yeah, just wiggle over.
Very cute.
Yeah. Like, well, wrong way. It's mirror.
All right. Here we
So
are.
I've been thinking a lot about the membership tiers too. So don't get discouraged right away.
Wow,
I'm trying to figure
look
out ways
at
to.
Look at
So cool.
this.
Awesome.
That is beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, you do the oh, thank you, Droner.
Droner, thank you so much.
$20. Thank you.
Very generous.
Kevin, you do isn't it the underwater or the water level music from Super Mario 64?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dire
Dots.
Dots.
Yeah.
There's also Zora's Realm from Ocarina of Time in there too.
Yeah, I did
Totally
I did a MIDI cover of Dire Docks maybe I don't know 25,000 years ago. Long time ago. No, it was like in like GarageBand's like 2.0 or something.
I remember when you
because that blew my mind when I was a kid, because one of the things that Mario 64 did that no console game had ever done before it was have dynamically changing level music based on where you were in the level.
Oh yeah.
So like if you're in the water, you only get like the like harp instrument, but then once you go on land, like the drums kind of kick in and everything. Which
technically Super Mario World had dynamic music because of Yoshi.
Because of Yoshi, I was just gonna say that, yeah. And
sorry.
and hitting pause in Mario 2.
Super Mario,
Banjo-Kazooie also did that big time. Everyone learned that lesson, so it must have been built into their,
And that's just like a feature that is like, nobody thinks about it nowadays. Every game does that.
Right.
Yeah.
When I was making the comp, I ended up putting 3 tracks from Super Mario 64 on there, and I realized I think that is honestly like my favorite N64 soundtrack.
It's really, really good.
Wow.
It's just so
Thank
good.
you, Sega Octopus.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I just got an
Thank you.
update from George. He says that before that it was already up to $220, so we're up to $270 for the
That's awesome.
NAACP.
Thank you guys
awesome.
so much.
That is fucking awesome.
Q, thank you,
and
Q.
Q is the first winner
Q.
of the night with
Thank
the Chainsaw Crooner Man. One of the finest.
Are they
James'
set up
favorite
to be
gift.
are they set up to be random?
They're set up to be random. I didn't have a chance to update and add any more this week, but next week we'll be sure to. I promise.
Whoa, my hair's doing something weird. I should come down to here. Oh, I look like I'm in slow dive now.
Nice.
Dan Mason was just talking about slow dive.
Yeah. Talking about shoegaze in the Dan Mason stream.
Yeah.
Tech and I are big shoegaze fans. Before we were vaporwave producers, we played in a space rock band that had a lot of shoegaze influence. And then people familiar with the Rebecca Peak project know that It was basically a shoegaze band at the end of the day. So yeah, shout out to Dan Mason for being on the same page.
Hell yeah.
Oh, Retro Game Players has the Mario 64 soundtrack on CD. I've always wanted to have a physical edition.
I have that. I own that.
Yeah, you have that?
I do. Yeah, I bought it on eBay in the early 2000s or late 90s. Yeah, it has a really amazing cover.
The other day when I was making the cover, so I was like, I gotta own this in one way, shape, or form. And the CD was like $100 on Discogs, and I was like, yeah,
shit,
no.
damn, I should sell it, or I'll just give it to you.
I'll buy it.
I'm fine with my MP3s. Yeah, that one.
This one, yeah, this is the one that I own.
Yeah,
I think
that cover.
I think I actually bought it at a Software Etc. like in the year 1998 or 1999.
Wow,
they had
amazing.
it for sale on the thing because I used to go there all the time. I had a summer job, and all the money that I would make, I would then take the bus to go to the Dayton Mall, to go to Software Etc. and give them all of my money to reserve Dreamcast stuff.
That's
all
perfect.
summer long. So on Dreamcast launch day, I walked up there and picked up a Dreamcast, Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur, House of the Dead 2,
Oh my
a
god.
light gun, 2 arcade
Wow.
sticks, an extra controller, and an extra VMU.
It's incredible.
It was literally like 4 or 5 months of all of my money.
Still
going
looking for
towards
one of
it.
those arcade sticks. The Dreamcast one.
Molitovich, thank you.
Hey, Molitovich, thank you.
Molitovich,
I don't know
thank
if it's Molitovich or if it's Molitovich.
I think it's Molitovich.
Molitovich, okay.
He's got a mullet.
Yeah.
That's
I met him
claim
in
to
real
fame.
life. He's a great
Right.
guy.
Wait, is this
Sweet,
real?
sweet guy.
Was there a vinyl
What?
pressing? Is this some kind of
That's a
bootleg?
bootleg.
That's definitely a bootleg. Might be sick though.
My rarest tape might be the I think it was like a Nintendo Power mail away, but it's a promo cassette that has like Super Mario 64, Wave Race 64, Blast Core. Like it's got a bunch of. It's just like a mixtape of N64 music, but it's like official Nintendo.
Yeah, I really wanted this.
It's a CD.
James,
The
what is
cassette
this?
Oh,
This is
wow.
this is an
I've saw that before.
official Super Mario World soundtrack that
What?
apparently exists.
Oh,
I didn't think it was on
Select-
vinyl. I knew.
Select Start is a bootleg label.
That's
Oh, okay, yeah, but this
Yeah.
this did exist on CD at one point.
I think they do like lathe cuts.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, you know, I was looking up the Ocarina of Time OST on Spotify the other day for some reason, I forget. It is, I meant to share this with you guys, but I'm glad that it's just happening now in real time. It is incredible the amount of bootlegged Zelda OST covers and remix content and on Spotify, and how bad the covers are.
Oh, God.
And it kind of pissed me off because, you know, like Shenmue Online is the only DDS album to be removed from streaming services, and it was definitely not because of the content, it's because we used the name Shenmue, like 100%. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Sega
Yeah.
Sega bopped us for that, or booped us.
Well, we avoided it.
What if you put a space in between Shen and Mew?
Maybe.
Underscore, yeah. Gotta get an
Yeah,
underscore.
I'm gonna hide this real quick in case it shows my credentials here.
Yeah, they told us that if it happens again, then we get all of our stuff removed. And
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, we get in a lot of trouble. Yeah, so
Who
You
told
don't
you
get
that?
to meet
Probably shouldn't
Sonic.
broadcast that if the trolls are watching. You know.
Was
Well-
that Spotify or Sega?
Hey,
Hey, Hero,
thank
thank you so
Thanks.
much. Thank you.
you. It was just Spotify, I think. But yeah, it was a weird little thing that happened there. But speaking of Koji Kondo, though, the composer of Legend of Zelda and Super Mario games, James and I saw Koji Kondo live in, like, I don't know, 2006 maybe.
Long time ago.
wow.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
in Chicago, at the there was like a video game a music symphony. Yeah,
Mhm. It was
and
like
it was
the first
opening. It
one
was
of those.
opening night. Yeah, it was the opening night, and all the almost every composer was there, and it was really sweet. And James got Nobuo Uematsu, the composer of Final Fantasy's autograph, and he got it on an NES cartridge of Final Fantasy 1, and then I think his dad had it shadow boxed or something.
Oh my
Yeah,
It
god.
was
yeah,
really
it's-
really awesome.
It's around.
But Koji Kondo came out. It was before. It was right before New Super Mario Brothers DS came out. and Koji Kondo came out in a fucking white tux.
Oh my god!
And played the main theme from New Super Mario Brothers DS on piano, just solo.
Crazy.
And it was so sick. It was like, wow, we're never going to see something
my gosh.
Yeah,
Transcendental.
he rarely has ever played live. That was the second time he's ever made a public appearance. It was a surprise that he was there. Like, everyone was there. Like, fuck.
Koshiro?
Yeah. And Nobuo Uematsu, obviously, and Koji Kondo. The
guy from Silent Hill.
Yes, Susumu Yakota from the Silent Hill series pulled out a guitar and did like the ends riff theme from Silent Hill 3. That was incredible.
It was the sickest shit ever. Yeah.
And they
Jesus Christ.
they had the like huge screens where they were playing.
Sparkling got it. Akira Yamaoka.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, Akira, not Suzumu. But yeah, they were playing huge like clips from the video games behind them. So they're playing like the Shenmue suite, and then there's Ryo Hazuki with Nozomi on his back riding his motorcycle through the tunnels of Yokosuka, and I'm just crying. Total Stranger.
Thank you, Total
so
Stranger.
Thank you, Total Stranger.
I was basically.
I was employed at Nature City, so I think that might be a former coworker.
Wow.
But yeah, I cried a lot that night. Tech was next to me, and it was a very, very sort of surreal and beautiful experience. I got to shake Nobuo Uematsu's hand, and
oh my god.
One more thing about that night, the funniest part of the whole night was so they closed with they played a bunch of Final Fantasy music for sure, but they closed with One Winged Angel, and it was like this, like 7.5 minute long thing, like a choir and symphony and stuff, and then they finished, and like the curtain closed or whatever, and everybody started chanting for an encore, which is like super weird for like orchestral performance, and they came back out. They came back. It was like, what else? What are they gonna play? And they actually came back out, and then they just played One Winged Angel again.
Again?
Wow. Yeah.
One Winged Angel.
But it was really cool though, because the conductor just had everyone come full blast. So they had a full choir, right? Like a full choir fucking singing One Winged Angel. And he just had every section. He was just like, more, give me more. So everyone was just like playing. Triple F, just as loud and as powerful as possible. Just Sephiroth. We're just like, because we're like, what, like, God, how old are we at that point? 20, just 20, like. Yeah.
How did you meet Nobuo? Because I actually went and saw Distant Worlds live, and at the very end of the concert, Nobuo revealed that he was in the audience watching, and he just stood up, and he was 5 seats next to me, but I was just shaking violently from
so
the experience.
He did a record signing in downtown Chicago the day before, and it was so cute. It was the first time I had ever driven to Chicago by myself. And so Tech and I just got in my car, we're just gonna drive downtown Chicago and go see him. And so we ended up having to pay $70 to park or something.
I was gonna say, would you lose your life savings?
Yeah, exactly. So that was interesting, but definitely worth it.
It was cool though. We were looking at all the tall buildings, and it was the first time that I had ever seen really tall buildings before. And I was like, oh, I want to. Everybody had iPods, which was nobody where I was from had iPods at that point. It was it was wow.
Oh, and so I found the photos from that experience in my iPhoto right now. So I'm just going to iPhoto. God, I sound like such a old person. From my iPods, Photos app. Yeah, just let me pull these up here. Great pictures of Chicago. That's really cute. And yeah, there's the picture of Tech. Tech knows what's coming. A great picture of me, too, from this experience. When we were younger boys.
What's going on?
Yeah, at some point...
Wait, is it up yet?
No. Your Skype is just looking weird because I'm moving windows, but everyone else can see it just fine.
I got you.
So at some point, so I think I can just drop these in and it should work. So here is Nobuo Uematsu. This is what he was wearing that night. This shirt.
Yeah.
This No Worries shirt.
He's our hero. He's all of our heroes.
Yeah,
What is that brand called? Like
no,
Good or...
no worries,
No
no
Red
problems,
Bubbles.
no problems.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Everything is chill.
Yeah, something
No
like
worries.
that.
Life is good. Thank you.
Life is good.
The
Life
ice
is good.
choir with the
Ice Quiet.
yeah, life is good. So that's what he was wearing. It was a really, really powerful moment for me because Tech and I were like a year deep into our exclusively listening to NES soundtrack phase of our life. And so he meant a whole lot to us outside of like the nerddom of like Hot Topic video game culture. Just as like musicians and composers, we were obsessed with his pop sensibilities and his ability to write melodies that far surpassed nearly everyone in the genre. So yeah, I was like shaking and trembling, and I was just like I told him, like your music means so much to me, and like the translator like told him what I said, and he was just like, and I was like, can I shake your hand? And the translator, told it to him, and he just got this huge grin on his face and just put his hand out. And I was just like, oh my god, it's you. It's you. You wrote the prelude. You wrote the Final Fantasy 2 music. Like, it was a very big deal. Some bonus content though. Here's what I wore that night.
Yes.
Oh wow.
For some reason, I thought that was like your prom night photo.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you would think that, but no.
Because I have that one saved on my computer.
Yeah, no. I skipped prom to take drugs in the woods with my friends.
Dude, I probably had the biggest dress shirt on because I would just always wear my dad's dress clothes because I didn't have any.
Yeah, Tech also...
All right, let's see Tech.
Yeah,
Come
at this
on.
point in his life, Tech was famous for spiking his hair up like Cloud.
Oh, hell
really
yeah.
Cool, which you will now see.
Seen those pics
Feel like
too.
a mom embarrassing their son right now. But there's
really...
Tech.
Oh.
Yes! And his...
Do I have blonde tips there?
Yes, frosted tip phase of Tech Honors. But look how...
That's actually a great look.
Yeah, this was right when Tech stopped looking like the weird, meek, thin-necked little boy that he was in high school and started to become the man that he is today, that we all love and respect. So that's a great tie.
Look at that tie. That tie is elephants. Look how wide it is. It's my dad's tie.
That's what ties were back then. Ties were definitely wide.
I had to close a deal with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a wide tie. Crazy wide. That's like one of those like joke ties, you know what I mean?
It's like yeah.
It's like an apron.
So for a period of time, Kevin, Tech and I were gonna move to Chicago. Like that's what we wanted to do. Because when you live in Dayton, Ohio, the closest real city is Chicago. It's like a 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
Just straight up there. I mean, like Cincinnati, Columbus, like those are big places, but they're not like real cities the way that Chicago, New York are. But yeah, we ended up coming to Philadelphia instead. But yeah. So anyway, that's our little side quest about Play, a musical symphony, which was an amazing. Thank you, Commodore.
Thank you, Commodore,
for the number.
Thank you very, very much for justice. Yes.
Yes, for justice.
That R23X GIF is just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially when overlaid on my dumbass face.
We definitely need. So we definitely need more GIFs or GIFs or whatever. So
Sego Octopus made those GIFs, by the way. She made all of our like animated sprites.
Thank you so much for the
amazing. They're amazing.
We'll be reaching out to you again soon, I think, because I want in on this shit.
We said that last week, but we'll definitely make good on it this week.
Dude, I really think you should bring this hairdo back. Honestly, it's cool.
I'm
not just trying to be funny. It looks good.
Unique.
I've got too much of a receding hairline now.
No.
Yeah, let's see. Everybody, let's see. Whip out those hairlines. I'll show mine. Mine goes all the way
frozen?
back.
Oh,
I think we're frozen.
No, we're good. We're going.
Oh, everything's bad on mine.
So,
oh wow, Kevin, you do. Wow.
There's a misunderstanding about my hair. Okay, people think that I'm completely bald. It's hard for webcams to pick it up, but so hair grows across this entire line here, right? Here and here, it only comes in as peach fuzz now. here it still comes in. If I grew out my hair, right, I would have this disgusting island that would come in like Danzig or something. Like come in front of my face.
What is that called again? A skull lock or something?
Yeah.
Rate it?
I call it the. It used to be in my Peninsula of Hope. I call it the Island of Hope. But you know,
a devil lock. It's called a devil lock.
The
Devil lock.
Yeah.
But hey, folks, you look. I know that
Luxurious.
we have a lot of younger fans, a lot of fans in their late teens, early 20s, and just let me tell you this, all right? I knew that I was going bald when I was 18 years old. All right, I saw it starting to happen. My mom was like, "No, you're gonna be fine." I'm like, "I don't know, Mom. I think I need Rogaine. Something weird's happening to me." And I was a man with long hair. That was my thing. It was like my source of power. I would be like Kevin if my hair didn't fall out, basically.
Yeah.
Or Mark, for that matter. And I was
Thanks for the...
I was definitely in denial about it for a while, and I continued to have long hair when I shouldn't have, and I was trying to cover it up by pulling hair from the back, just because you look at yourself in the mirror and you just like, it's like having your front teeth knocked out. Like, you can literally not believe what you're seeing. But over the years, once I finally realized I just needed to embrace it and lean into it, and to make sure that I had some facial hair, like, it's fine. And I mean, honestly, I feel like this is probably the strongest look I've had in my entire life.
You look better
amazing,
than you've
James.
ever looked, James.
I-
I've been friends with you for half your life, and
I looked very goofy at many, many points in my life. I'm going to pull in a picture right now.
Oh my god!
Just to show how bad it
Pull
truly
one in.
was. So
Wow, that
this
was sick.
this-
I didn't know what
so
to.
cool.
You look like you're in a snowboarding game.
From 2001.
Yeah, I think they were possibly.
That's sick.
I guess I look kind of sick in this. All right, never mind.
Dude, you should just get a wig and wear those exact glasses, and then
Yeah.
Tech, you get that haircut, and that's the
That's the new
2021 look.
DDS.
Just revert, revert.
SSX Webster. I like. Okay, shout out there.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yes.
So anyway, the point is, if you find yourself going bald, hey, it's totally cool. Yes, it sucks to not have a choice, and it's like I can't grow out my hair and get a haircut, and that sucks. You know, I really do miss being able to style my hair and color it and have fun. So enjoy that, right? But if it happens, it's not the end of the world.
At least now you don't have to worry about it. I hate having to deal with my hair. Yeah.
Do you
is
use
great.
shampoo still? Like just like a one swipe?
I do.
kind of deal?
I shampoo daily, and I use cream rinse anytime that I buzz my hair. So I grow out my beard and let my hair grow, and then I buzz it all down to a 2 setting on a clipper, just everywhere, all around, hair and beard down to 2.
Do you go like
sounds
bottom to top, back down to bottom again?
No, it's more like this, and then the sides, and then holding down my ear, and then the
That'd be
back.
a sick
Sure,
VR
consistency.
game. Yeah, I want to play that in VR.
Ew.
Just like shave an entire head in
Do
VR.
you
3D
shampoo your
hair.
beard?
I do not shampoo
Ugh.
my beard, no. But I don't like growing out my beard. That's something that I've done a few times. Had like a really long beard, and definitely did not enjoy the look or the experience.
James, do you have that? Oh, thank you, Terry Green Machine.
Terry Green
Thank
Machine.
you
Wow.
very
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
$50
For that $50, wow, people love
Thank you,
this
Terry
beard,
Green Machine.
this hair talk.
James,
Yeah, this is a great picture.
do you have that picture of me and you that is like where we slid into another dimension?
That's exactly what I'm pulling up right now.
Oh, Trash
Trash
Ghost.
Ghost.
Thank you
Trash
very, very
Ghost and
much.
Trash Ghost, #1 winner with the chainsaw GIF. Congratulations.
Yeah, God.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
You guys
So-
have great. This is a
Holy-
great. That's great hair too, Tech.
This is so
Oh,
wow.
Look at zoom in on my chin.
Yeah, maybe not that part, but
How many hairs you got down there? 5 or 6?
Oh,
Nice.
God. Yes, Shiro City. These are going to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. All the donations are, and because of this image right here, this is.
So this is why you require shaving for men. Okay.
Just fucking James.
Oh my god.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
We're just bullying at this
But yeah,
point.
I mean, you have to remember that your
Oh my
sideburns are a part of your beard. You know.
They-
So,
They
but hey,
so James and I went to a salon together in Dayton and I was getting my hair dyed. I don't know, James, you got your hair dyed red that time or something, and I got my hair dyed blonde, and they bleached it 6 times, and my scalp was like fucking destroyed. It was awful and grotesque. And at one point they were like, it's too yellow, so we'll bleach it, or we'll dye it purple to counterbalance the yellow, as if they could somehow, from their eyesight, just determine what the perfect exact
counterbalance was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they dyed it purple, and then all of a sudden I had like purple hair, and I was like, well, I could have told you this was gonna happen. So they had to bleach it some more. So yeah, it was an absolute train wreck.
It just totally affected the future chemical composition of your hair too, probably.
Yeah. It was pretty rough stuff. And then obviously I was unconcerned about roots.
So this has been a fun way for me to learn how well this picture sharing technology can work on the stream. So we're only on episode 2 here, so we're still exploring different avenues of expression and different ways that we can all have fun with each other. So I'm going to put this out to Mark and Kevin. If you have any pics you want to share. I'm
looking through my phone. I know I have an oldie in here somewhere of like my... It's like really old. It's like my 90s computer setup from like when I was a little kid.
Because you looked like a little scene boy, a little MySpace man.
Yeah,
Kevin.
I've got those on my computer. Those were like taken with my dad's Palm Pilot, and I'll certainly send you some of those. But I'd have to switch to the iMac. So we'll save them for next week.
Baby Tech and James story time each week. You can definitely look forward to that.
That painting in the background of the elephant that's like sitting there, the red elephant, is actually by Keith.
It was a collaboration.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was Keith and I forget her name. She made me a red mage hat. I forget who it was, but yeah, that was Keith and someone else. You see here,
made me a red mage hat.
Definitely have a Kid A poster, the giant kind. This is a map of EverQuest's Norath, hanging up on the wall, and of course the Fire Walk with Me poster, because I've always loved these.
The shot on film? This looks like a film photo.
It was a DSLR.
Okay.
Yeah, I lived in a really, really cool apartment that overlooked downtown Dayton at the time. And it was like close enough to downtown Dayton that it really made the city look actually like a city. So yeah,
it was actually pretty sweet.
Yeah, it looked like this. That was pretty cool.
It's a nice view.
Yeah, that's downtown Dayton there. This is the Dayton Towers. You can see a World of Warcraft screenshot on my 4:3 aspect ratio monitor here.
Oh my god.
Here's my cool Pink Floyd poster. It says, "Mother, should I trust the government?" More relevant now than ever. But yeah, that's downtown Dayton. God love.
You know, I gotta say that I think I'm really liking playing on a 4:3 monitor again.
Sounds hipster as fuck.
I don't know. It fills me with this like, I don't know. It's nostalgic. What can I say?
I barely even know what it means.
It's crazy how many like I'm glad they haven't dropped like 4:3 support in new games. So I'm playing a Jedi Fallen Order on like my CRT Dell
or the worst is when it's
incredible, like full screen 4:3 aspect ratio. I can turn the graphics like all the way up, and it's running on a lower resolution, you know, because it's a tube, but it looks like almost better than it does on my OLED. I don't know how to explain it. It's really, really nice monitor.
There's something that really, when I played Final Fantasy XI for the first time, I always played on a widescreen monitor for like years, and it always stretched player names in the UI, and I never realized it until I played it on a 4:3 monitor. It's like, oh, link shells aren't oblong; they're supposed to be fucking circles. And I spent years like it makes me want to kill myself when I think about it. Like aspect ratio shit. It's like in the Philly airport when you're disembarking and you're going through the security thing to like leave. They have one of those like 5-foot long monitors, you know, like the really, 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 really wide ones, like hanging up above the door with an image that says like "Do not re-enter," but it's stretched for like 5 fucking feet. It's like the absolute worst nightmare of an aspect ratio.
They ran it through that Wide 19 app. They got a Whitey.
Yeah. You know, I gotta say, it is great to see your faces and relax for a second and laugh. I haven't felt like
It's only been a week, but I miss you guys so much.
I haven't. I
Same here.
have not felt like I have been in a headspace where I can even entertain the idea of being entertained or laughing for like a week. But there's something about love between friends that is so.
Aww.
I mean it. Like I'm
I know.
100% sincere. Like it's.
We love you
is,
too, Jay.
Love is the strongest force in this universe, you know? Like, it truly, truly is. Love is stronger than evil. Every mega boss has a flashing weak spot. And, you know, it's the mega boss is always weaker than the hero, you know? Sauron will always be weaker than the Last Alliance, and that's just the way it is. So even if evil endures, remember that love is stronger. Sorry, I just felt that in the moment and had to say it.
Well, when you get to the end of, and I don't care if this is spoiling anything because the game is like 25,000 years old, but when you get to the end of Final Fantasy IV, and you have to fight Zeromus, which is the manifestation of hatred, even after you defeat him, or it does say that as long as there is evil in the hearts of man, hatred will never go away. So.
Well,
Well said.
thanks,
Well,
Tech.
Very beautiful.
Did you play the sequel, Tech? Final Fantasy IV: The After Years?
I did. It was awesome. I loved it.
Is that game a direct sequel?
Yeah.
It has a sequel. It's kind
There's
of
also
it's
a
kind of
bridge
trash,
in
but it's
between.
actually really fun.
There's like Final Fantasy IV interlude that goes
That
in
is
between.
bad. That is bad.
How many
games
Holy
are-
shit!
oh,
This picture,
sick car.
James.
That's
my gosh.
this is
Oh,
the
that's
first,
so sick.
the very first picture in my like iPhoto. This was definitely this was me when I was 18 years old. So there you have it.
Oh my god.
Standing
Zoom in on that
Cecil,
shirt.
Cecil Rosa Kane love triangle.
Yeah, this
Yes.
was. This
Yeah.
was
You
Sorry.
get it, Excel.
Sorry to interrupt you.
the shirt says "War is coming." This was a shirt for Tech
Oh
and
my God.
I's high school band Fatum. We
Jesus.
had this shirt that said "War is coming," and I was.
And then, like, the
a lyric
Iraq
that
bro-
Tech wrote.
Yeah, the war broke out like the same year. So we were right.
hmm You know, I don't know if I. So this is a 1990 Volkswagen Golf. This was my first ever car. People in other countries might recognize it as a Rabbit. They were called Golfs in America. So this was
yeah.
the Golf 2, I believe. This picture was taken circa 2003 or 2002. So it's kind of weird. Like 90s cars were still like you saw them and they were like new looking. It's weird.
Mhm.
Quentin QQ, that is awesome. That is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, Fatum represent.
Oh shit.
Anyway, yeah, I just sort of lost the thread there. Here, we'll go back to Skype mode real quick. Oh wait, no, I meant to show.
Yeah, you're
everybody.
you're showing the Zelda fucking covers. Or
Yeah, so
something.
if I just search,
Mhm.
not even Zelda, just Ocarina of Time. Let's see what comes up here.
Oh, nice. They
And
like
these-
have a
these are all
fake
on
playlist
Spotify.
to like trick you
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
with the cover of the game.
Yeah. So
That's so funny.
so we'll start with these some albums here.
I
Oh,
discovered this
shit.
when I was looking for the A Link to the Past, or sorry, Link's Awakening soundtrack, because it was such a cool reskin of the original OST. But then it was like only weird playlists were coming up, and they had like millions of plays.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened
Yeah,
to me.
that happens.
I was looking for a specific song from a game, and this is what I found.
I'm like, I
Wow.
need to tap into this market.
I'm just gonna
quote, unquote.
name my next record like Mario Brothers or something.
I know, right? Inside the Deku tree.
Equip Mario Brothers.
And it's like it's so awful because I don't know if it maximizes monetization or something, but it's like they've uploaded every song as its own album or something.
So they can
Oh
submit
my
them all for
God.
playlisting.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Wait, are you sure? Are you sure it's not just finding by songs?
No, this is showing albums for Ocarina of Time.
Oh my
Yeah, this is
god.
album view.
So
right
they
now.
just uploaded like 20 albums that are each one song long.
Okay, so in my opinion, Spotify asked for this because they only allow you to submit one song from your upcoming release for playlist consideration. So like
Well,
whenever I submit a new album, you know,
how
next,
is this guy even gonna get considered for something like that?
Actually, a friend of mine recently made a YouTube video. His name's Jackson Parodi, and he commented
Oh,
on
yeah.
this because Joe Hisaishi, the composer for all Miyazaki's Studio Ghibli films, recently said in an interview that he's really annoyed that that this is happening and that it's eroding the longer form album.
Wow.
Just because it's so bottlenecked by streaming services doing this exact thing.
Well, Mark,
James, wait.
We're practicing it right now. We're guilty of it. We've got our album like almost done, and we're just dropping every single track.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
As its own release.
Yeah.
The one James is circling right there.
Oh, Hitachi is here. Hitachi, oh my God, you're here.
Welcome.
Oh my God.
Hello.
I'm gonna cry. We miss you so much. I miss you so much.
We miss you.
I miss everybody so much. I just want to give a shout out. Since Hitachi is here, now I'm thinking about Japan. We got to give a shout out to Kato Massacre. Kato Massacre is a series of amazing art events and music shows that happen in Tokyo, in Shibuya, at Forest Limit, which is, if you saw the Neo Gaia Legends, the movie, it's one of our favorite venues, and that's where we met Dirty Dirt and Emma Mouse and all those people. That's really like their scene. And so when the Neo Gaia Phantasy came to Japan 2 years in a row, it was Kato from Kato Massacre that invited us to play at Forest Limit. So and reached out to us the second time to see if we wanted to play again, set up the whole show, made all that happen. So
Kato is awesome. He the 2017 Japan trip, I went with my friends Colin and Joe, and they performed as Antlered and Bastion Void, and I was just along for the ride. I just like watched them perform and stuff. But when I returned next year, Kato knew my name. He remembered me from last year, and he asked me about my old ambient work that I haven't really talked about in years. So he did some serious research on on us when we went to play in 2018. So
and he also at the ends of the Neo Gaia tour last year, I played one more show at the behest of Hitachi, who's in the chat right now. It was a new masterpiece showcase at a place called B-Wave in Shinjuku in Tokyo. And Kato came out to that show and came up to me and I was so sad at that show because I was there. Hakobune was there with his wife, and that was cool because they both speak really great English, and they're super, super nice. But my Japanese is awful, and I couldn't really communicate with anybody there. And Kevin and Mark were gone at that point, and I was just all by myself.
Aww.
Yeah, but Kato was there, and he came up to me and took me aside and smiled, and it was beautiful, and it meant a lot to me. Mr. Rich says, why do we care so much about Japan? Well, Mr. Rich, that's the whole point, is that Neo Gaia Fantasy exists because of our friends in Japan, and without our friends in Japan, none of this would be happening right now, because Neo Gaia Fantasy would never exist as this cultural coalition to deliver a platform to the Japanese cultural experience surrounding vaporwave, and how their art and our art has come together to make this scene something truly special. So
that's how we all met too.
Yeah, it's how we all met. And if you've seen Neo Gaia Legend, the movie goes really into that cultural bridge and what we have done. So that's it.
I think the person's just trolling.
Yeah, I know. But just in case anyone was wondering, I'm not throwing anything out to the trolls, but yeah, Japan is beautiful.
Can anyone in the chat get our movie on Netflix?
What?
No.
Neo Gaia Legend.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Because then more people would see it.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about the current viewership. I'm just throwing that out.
Yeah.
There.
So anyway, the point is, so Kato Massacre is continuing right now with these incredible streaming events. Elevation, who we actually played a show with in Okazaki without even realizing it, because this is a super strange situation in a fog-filled room, and no one had any idea what was going on. But yeah, they played just last night with Emma Mouse and a bunch of other people in this insane 6-hour stream with all kinds of other skits and other sort of art pieces going on. So yeah, if you go to here, I can just drop this in the chat so everyone.
We gotta
can...
get Emma Mouse on the show one of these days.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, everyone in the chat, just definitely chill, and you don't want to give anything to trolls. So just ignore them and they'll go away because that's all they care about is being paid attention to. It's kind of sad, really. So if I go to Twitch and I go to the 100%.
Elevation actually was arrested for protesting fairly recently. I saw a video of him when he got out, and he was definitely pretty banged up and bruised up, but he's okay now. So that was a super crazy running into him at Okazaki, because Okazaki's kind of I don't know, it's a little out of the way, I guess. I mean, depending on where you're going, but like he jumped on for like an improv drum and bass DJ set, and it was really good.
Lounge was the name of that place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yep.
It's like they would not stop pumping the smoke machine all night. It's like the one memory that I have of that place is just a completely fog-filled room.
Yeah, Elevation was really, really nice, and they came and checked out the show. But I didn't realize that they were caught up in the
James, what
protest.
I have to get a verification code so I can log into Twitch real quick. Sorry. God. So y'all have to talk amongst yourselves while I figure this out here.
Not James, but Mark and Kevin, didn't you guys just get in like a newspaper or something?
Oh yeah, Mark was interviewed for the Chicago Reader, which is like...
Oh, you were interviewed?
Yeah, Mark was.
Wow. Yeah.
We can link to that. James has the power to... Here, I'll post a link.
Well, I think James is...
Yeah.
I
got it. We're good here. So now I'm...
I got
it. We're good here.
I was so bummed out because
I got it.
I checked... I was my spam folder like 2 weeks... 2 days after the article was published, and he had like reached the writer of the article, Leor Gallo. He had reached out to me, but it got caught by the spam filters. Damn it.
Yeah, it's a really Leor wrote a really nice article about video game composers in Chicago, and sort of went on tangents and related connections to that whole scene. And I was featured in it as because I'm a director at Yeti Records, and we put out a lot of video game soundtracks, so they got in touch with me, and really nice guy. Really, the article turned out great. They gave shout-outs to Yeti Records, to my work there, and a bunch of awesome composers around Chicago, including one of our Yeti Records artists named, who did the Tumbleseed soundtrack, Joel Corlitz.
Yeah, Joel.
They gave a shout-out to Kevin, obviously, despite not being able to get a hold of him due to spam filters, but listed SC88, which is an awesome album of Kevin's, and even gave a little shout out to George and 100% in there too, which is awesome.
Yeah. Joel did a track on the Guardia X-Strike sessions too. That's quite good, right?
Yep.
Cool.
It
Memories
is
of Time.
Freaking cool. It's like the main theme. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the exact. There's like 5 different names for the main theme of Chrono Trigger.
Right, because they're all different arrangements of like the same motif, basically.
For sure.
Oh, Ice Choir works with Joel. Somebody in the chat. Ice Choir works with Joel.
Oh, very cool.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So the first thing that I do whenever something like this happens, oh, we got an ad here. They're not paying for that. Is I go Command F and I type James. Okay, so no mentions me. Deaths. No dynamic shrouds.
Close article.
Neo Gaia. No. All right. Well, I'm not reading this. I'll tell you that much. I'm just kidding, of course.
Mark and Kevin are just like, ugh.
When he did post it, I have been interviewed and then not featured in articles because I tend to say really dumb things, I think. So this time I was in it, so that's great.
We have been playing a quip all night. I think it's time for a little We'll give Mark another turn here. I like Mark's music a lot.
Oh, in the background.
Me too.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too distracting.
You know, it's
I forgot that
mad chill.
like you were even playing music. 'cause
we
I'm
can't
just looking
Forgot
at
that
the
I
Skype
even make
window.
music.
We can't hear
No.
you.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, here I'll jump back into Skype view, and then you can see what's playing, and then you can pretend like you know what's going on there.
That's cute.
Oh man, I just want to load a ROM really bad.
Yeah. It's
I
like in
wish we-
Densetsu 3 fan translation.
Oh yeah. Treasure of the Rudress fan translation.
Yeah.
Let's get weird.
I should
SNES
stream one of
ROMs.
those. Because yeah, all those fan translations run on my EverDrive. So
You really should.
yeah, I know. I've been wanting to play Terra Enigma for like ever, and I just I've never really gotten past like the first 10, 15 minutes. I know it's supposed to be like one of the best SNES games, but I've never.
You could
Never
make
Same
a
here.
you could make a game about the games that I have not played.
That sounds like some kind of indie
Games
game.
that are not missed.
I have played my fair share of games. I have missed a lot of games that are considered to be absolute classics, including Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross.
You haven't what? Oh, I just beat Chrono Cross last week.
Like Chrono Trigger,
I know.
but everybody always says that to me.
I play Final Fantasy and I don't really play anything else. I play Final Fantasy games over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
That's
You
good.
got really quiet there, Tech.
Oh no.
You were loud
There you go.
before.
There you go.
You were.
What? Yeah, but who knows what's going on?
Shout out to
We're
my
still
friend.
hitting puberty.
Shout out to my friend Satchel, who gave me a save file for Chrono Cross as a new game plus, so I could start it with max stats and get all the cool endings and just play the entire game very easily recently as a ROM.
Now that's the
Yeah.
problem with you kids these days. You don't do your grinding in RPGs like we used to have to do.
Well, and I think that's there's a big problem. At a certain point in your life.
Yeah, no.
Maybe when you cross the threshold into your 30s, where you're like,
I'm all for ROM hacks that make the game like way easier.
well, it's just like it's like I don't have enough time left of actually being alive, and you don't really realize that until you hit age 30. That your time on Earth is limited. In your 20s, you feel like your 20s are going to last forever. Then when you're 27, you're like, oh shit, wait, this is inconceivable that I'll ever be 30. This isn't going to happen. It's fine. And then you're 28, and then you're 29, and then you're slowly trying to cope with the situation. Then you turn 30, and it turns out that it's not that big of a deal, and actually you realize that all the things that that you thought were important in your 20s actually aren't. So for example, new Animal Crossing game comes out, right? This is like the 4th or 5th time that I've played Animal Crossing in my life at this point, right? I've played them all since the very first one. And back in the day, I used to go in, and every single day I would go to Nooks and I would buy every single item that he had for sale, because in my mind I thought, well, I have to get a complete catalog. I need 100% the catalog and figure out, and get that. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I need to pause the story real quick. I'm getting a call from my work. This is important.
Oh, here we go.
Stream it.
It's the alarm.
Then you turn 40
Hello?
and you stop playing Animal Crossing.
Oh gosh. Phantasy Star 2 was the game that made me like realize that my free time was better spent not
yes,
like
I think
killing
that,
random
there
cyborg
was a
and
power outage
insectoids.
in the area.
Understood. I just want to listen to James here real quick.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
I just,
Might want to mute.
No, he-
Okay,
knows.
so it
He's
should
not-
be charging now, or
The PS2
okay.
Fantasy Star collection.
So is there anything that
it never
needs
made
to be
it
done
stateside,
regarding
but
this, or?
the Japanese version has all
I
4
appreciate that.
Fantasy Star games with like.
all right,
is
well,
that
then
what you guys are
everything's
playing
fine.
right now? The PSO2 that
No. That's Fantasy
Playing.
Star Online. I'm talking about like the old school, like Fantasy Stars is for Master System, and Fantasy Star 2 on Mega Drive, Genesis. But the PS2 collection has like a difficulty slider, so you can basically quadruple the amount of gold and experience you get from battles. So you still like go through the game as you normally would, but it just makes it less tedious. So there's like some areas where like in addition to intense heavy grinding, like you're going to be dead in the water if you don't have like the latest equipment, which is like all like super overpriced, and you have to like grind for hours and hours and hours
in
outside
order to get
city. And I finished the game and I enjoyed it, and it was still like presented a decent challenge. Like it still wasn't like a walk in the park, but it was much
I definitely appreciate. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that they've started to get away. Like Final Fantasy games, again, the only games I play have gotten away from being grind heavy. And it's definitely nice because I didn't mind the grind, like what James was saying. I didn't mind it when I was younger, but now I just want to go.
There's definitely.
James.
Oh, well, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, was everything okay?
Oh yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine. The Japanese house is safe. Just a low battery alert. I get calls from the Fidelity Alarm company whenever something goes bad, but everything's cool. Everything's fine. But yeah, all I was trying to say, and I think that you've all figured it out, is that when the new Animal Crossing game came out, it's like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to buy what I want because everything else is a waste of time. And once you've gone through the cycle of thinking that you can 100% everything, and then you're in your 30s and you realize that you barely 100%ed anything, then you're like, okay, then I'm not. And especially the new Animal Crossing, it's not just furniture. It's like there are variations. So it's like, okay, I have the plunger, but do I have the plunger that's red and the plunger that's orange? And then it's like, you know what?
That sounds like hell.
I don't.
Is there a froggy plunger?
Too much.
Ooh, froggy plunger. I'd buy that DLC for sure.
No froggy.
Yeah, I would pay $30 for that.
I will say re-grinds that sometimes grinds are like awesome because I like feeling like I'm achieving something that not a whole lot of other people have achieved. You know what I mean? But grinds as a requirement to actually play the game, that's something else.
Yeah.
It's I like that rare drop, like the economizer in Final Fantasy VI, where you like spend hours fighting beasts until you finally fight like the Brachiosaur or whatever, and then you do the like X zone plus death trick and get the that economizer that changes all your spells to 1 MP. Like that's sweet because you don't need the economizer to beat the game.
It's just like, extra stuff.
It's extra stuff, yeah.
But like
I just like. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say you were talking about after years earlier. I tried to play Final Fantasy for the after years. I never made it past the first islands because when I tried to play that game, I heard that there was a rare drop that only comes from the monster that spawns on the island at the very beginning of the game. And so me playing that game,
you couldn't get past it.
Yeah, I literally could not start playing the game. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah. That's funny.
Wow. Yeah, I tried playing Breath of Fire 2 on the Nintendo Switch subscription service, and it has save states at least. But I played it for like maybe an hour total, and I got to something that I'm like, okay, I need to start grinding, and I just lost interest and turned it off. So
I remember buying the Super Nintendo Breath of Fire when I was in high school. It was secondhand. But I was so excited to get it. I always wanted to play it. I started playing it and quickly realized that like the encounter rate is like higher than any RPG I had ever played before. Just like random battles like every 3 or 4 steps. And I couldn't take it anymore. Like I remember getting like towards the end of the first dungeon and just being like, this is like not fun. So much. Yeah.
So Trash Ghost was in the chat asking about PSO2. PSO2, it's a wonderful, beautiful mess. I played the Japanese version with the English patch, and then I played it later with the Japanese PSN account on the PS4, just entirely in Japanese. It's so funny to walk into it now as if it's a new game, because it's clearly super old with like 1,000 layers of like messy overlapping systems of advancement and currencies and pay-to-win currencies and weird, vanity items, and
The UI looks like Windows XP.
Yeah, or
Is it,
Windows
is it
really
in
funny.
Japanese?
Wow.
No. They
It's
just released
it's
it
in English for the first time.
For the first time.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Besides
gotcha.
the
Couple days
Southeast
ago.
Asian version, which was a little suspect to begin with, but it's super fun because like it really is so like modern Sega, where everything is like a little fucked up, a little broken, but the frame rates are high. Everything feels like a Japanese arcade game. Like combat is real, like kind of hitty, and the screen is full of flashy graphics and you know emergency code duel. And you're like, oh shit, what's going down? And all these random public events, but everything is just such a horrible, tangled mess of broken systems that were never meant to work together. But it's a blast. Yeah.
UI is a little overwhelming, honestly. It's like so intense. There's so many windows, and I got really like anxious when playing it.
Yeah.
All I did was build a character. That's as far as I got, but it was very satisfying to do so.
Yeah, trying to play it in Japanese without speaking Japanese was one of the most like mind-numbingly difficult, brain-breaking experiences. Like after a while, you just want to rip out your eyeballs because it.
Here's my character that I built in PSO2.
Oh shit!
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Grab this real quick.
I spent like 6 hours upgrading Windows 10, installing it in the Xbox store, and then I finally upgraded the game. And so I have a ThinkPad, a Lenovo ThinkPad that I got refurbished like 6 years ago, and it runs on the basic settings. So I built, I think.
Picture you.
My computer's like the same age as that Volkswagen Golf.
Yeah.
A potato.
Oh, sick! Beautiful.
Wow.
That's
I'm
sick.
like this. I
Looks
should just
pretty
record
good.
that on VHS, and that's my new album art.
Yeah.
For real.
Look at that,
That's what-
man.
So
That's
cool.
what Mark actually looks like in real life. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. I've
Don't
seen
let the
him.
webcam angle fool you.
My hair oxidizes in the sun and turns teal. Actually,
Wow.
I don't think I have any good pictures of my character offhand.
I've seen your
You sent me
pictures.
one.
Yeah.
You sent me one, James.
She's a. Hold on. I'll just have to pull this up out of our chat. Yeah, she's a
James,
new
you
world.
play a girl.
I do play. I play female
Girl.
characters from time to time.
How did the graphics look on mine? Because that's a screen cap from a ThinkPad. Does that look okay?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an
Is-
older game, so the graphics aren't really that great. But they're definitely of a time.
Okay.
Like 12 years old, right? It came out in 2008
Yeah. Wow. Oh my god.
or 2010, maybe.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
it
know.
was announced the same E3 that they announced the Wii. Because I remember,
Oh my God.
like those were the stories. It was
Okay.
like God of War 2, Sonic 2006, like new Sonic game,
Ooh.
new PSO, and the Wii. Unless I'm getting it all mixed up in my head, but I remember it sort of being important from then.
Nice.
Where was that?
It feels like a Dreamcast game. Like it's still like it plays like a Dreamcast game. Even like on, like I've got like gigabit fiber internet and a new computer, and it still like lags hard in the lobby,
Mm.
like really hard sometimes.
Well, if it's from the Wii era, I mean that's.
Definitely
I remember lining up
has
for a
issues.
Wii.
James,
Outside of
did
Future
you
Shock.
log into the DES account?
I did. That's me.
Okay,
You just got to know.
You had some
Sorry.
security notifications.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
oh,
funny.
it better have been.
Authentication.
Yeah, so that's my girl. I don't really have her from the front. I think I sent you a picture from the front, but I have to pull that out of messages.
How'd
This
you
looks
get that
like
Pokeball?
Pokemon.
That's my mag, right? So the mag is the little thing that floats above you that you feed items to and then evolves
Aw.
eventually over time.
Wow. So it is a Pokemon.
Yeah.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah, me either.
It's
I'm only level 6.
it's difficult to navigate
level
the
0.
quests and client order and free exploration system. Some things are buried under like main quests, and then there are also like story quests that aren't main quests, and then the expeditions, which are considered story quests for some reason, and then the client orders are just like kill X of X mobs, which you get those
Sounds like
from
work.
NPCs. I mean,
Yeah,
it
it's a
is
lot.
a fucking mess, and they limit the number of these client orders that you can get unless you pay them money for like a 30-day like expansion of how many quests you can take on, but it's not even permanent. Wow. Yeah, you have to pay real life money to expand your inventory past like it filling up within the first 10 minutes. It's just so dirty. It's just, but so is Sega, you know, like
all the free to play games are. I've never seen a single free to play game that's like, I mean, I guess you could kind of count like Fortnite. Like there's not really that many restrictions, and most people just end up spending money on like custom skins and stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like most free to play games are obviously, you know, trying to lure you in so you'll buy.
I saw an ad. I saw an ad for a free to play Disney game. Something to do with all I know is that like Simba and like grown adult Simba. And
like Kingdom Hearts 3 3/4 over 265.
What was the tiger from Aladdin?
Raja.
Raja. Yeah, I think I don't know. Anyway, it described it as it described it as a high quality RPG. Wow. And I was just thinking about how like if you use that term to describe your game in the advertising, there's absolutely no way it's high quality. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so be on the lookout for that ad.
But you know,
I love this site. I was on it for like 7 hours trying to install the game.
Yeah, like PSO2 really captures that otaku Akihabara spirit. You know, like that kind of gross, big screens with anime characters screaming at you, multiple songs playing at the same time in stores, like really loudly, and just big flashy neon colors, and then just like Sega logos everywhere. PSO2 really captures that experience, so it really does kind of make me nostalgic for like that side of like Tokyo.
How did you know the tiger's name from Aladdin so quickly? So blowing my mind over here.
There are certain quotes from certain movies that have stuck in my head and become a part of my own personal like lexicon. It's, I think, one of the weakest parts of my personality is that I'm constantly regurgitating pop culture, and a lot of it like antiquated pop culture. Like I'll quote like Ghostbusters of the Three Amigos, like some fucking like YouTube, you know, video game reviewer or something, and it makes me feel gross, but I just do it. And one of them is from Aladdin, when Jasmine's like, I don't even have any friends outside the palace. And then the tiger's like, brr. And she's like, except you, Raja. And he goes, I use that. And
oh, God.
I swear I said this like just 2 weeks ago, like no joke. Except you, Raja. And then someone was like, what? And I had to explain it to them. I am not a huge Disney fan, not into Disney, not into what they stand for. Yes, I enjoy Star Wars and its weakness, and I recognize it as a weakness, and I am a weak person. But there's a big difference between Star Wars and Star Wars, and I accept that.
The only movie quote that I could ever remember was the quote from Switch in The Matrix, where she says, "Not like this."
Not like this.
Not like this. And then that ended up becoming like a joke online, and I was pissed because I was like, "Oh, this is my one like techism that I can have." No,
my head is just filled with endless episode 3 memeable quotes at any point of the day. Like,
yes,
you know,
we really need to get some of those memes on air. I feel so. I'll just look at my chat and my Your and I personal messaging, Kevin, because you send them to me constantly. This is
for every meme I send you, I send Mark about 10.
Trade them, and then we'll show them on next week's show.
Okay.
That could be its own show.
Let me just
Dedicated.
I want to find at least one though. I think at least one to give a preview of what's coming up here. Yeah, I was planning on going for about 2 hours. But we can wrap anytime between now and 10 o'clock EST, whatever. I'm just enjoying seeing my friends and talking about this stuff.
We don't want to end the stream. We just don't want to fall down a prequel memes hole.
Right.
Sheaf posting, it's called. Sheaf posting.
Okay. We don't want to do a 920-degree spin from standing still. See, it's already happening.
It's treason then.
Oh my god. We need to nip this in the bud.
God, they're so bad. Like,
The Jedi are taking over.
You're on the Jedi Council right now, but we do not grant you
okay,
the rank
now
of Master.
this one is one of my favorites, and I actually just was describing this one last night. I didn't actually show it to the person that I was talking to, but I just described it, and it was really even just describing it made them laugh. So let's see if I can.
Sometimes describing them is better. Just putting that out there. Oh my gosh. That is good.
That's so
Wow.
beautiful.
I haven't even
special.
seen that one. That's
So dumb. That's why it's good.
They're all really
So
dumb.
stupid.
Oh, good night, Trash Ghost. Thank you so much for joining tonight.
Night Trash Ghost.
And thank you everyone who's been donating. Again, that money goes to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, and that's what we're here for. We're not. It's too important to not do whatever we can. And if it's just us being in this box talking about video games for a couple hours, and then bringing this beautiful community together and accepting money on their behalf, then that's what we can do. So thank you, everyone. That is really amazing. So anyway, back to this. There we go.
I can breathe again.
Yeah. So I think it's time for a little DDS to close us out for the night.
To close us out, what does that mean? To close us out.
What the fuck does that mean?
Play us out.
Play us out.
You didn't show off Kevin's PSO2 character.
Oh, have I seen it?
She's in our text chat. It's the kind of like Ava01.
Check on
inspired.
the net
Oh, I got
play
it.
tab.
I got it. Yeah.
Click net
Yeah,
play
she's
and
like
then
a little
settings.
devil girl.
Yeah, little devil goth, Ava01 inspired character.
Where'd it go?
She's the like an archer that does the like close combat when you get a little closer. Really cool.
Very kind of Cursebreaker-esque.
So I was kind of trying to go for.
Two
I like
horns,
those horns. Yeah.
Yeah, the double horns.
My
Couldn't
character.
get the elf ears either.
I also gave my character those big glasses too. Just couldn't resist.
Yeah.
You know,
They're cool.
I almost put on this outfit, but I was like, too much skin. Like,
Yeah.
That's a lot of cleavage going on there.
But
is that
it's true.
even cleavage when it's that open?
Oh, I thought that was material.
well, so there's
Is
like
it green?
there's a force field over. Yeah.
It's translucent. Yeah.
But I really liked how it kind
Right.
of looks like she has headphones around her neck. You know what I mean? Which is like kind of a DDS thing, like the headphones girl, RPG Windows Vista. You know, that was like a thing. You know, but I just couldn't do it. I was just like,
I'm a sucker for the combination of like lime green and purple. It's a
It
nice
does look really, really sick.
seafoam and purple.
Yeah.
Tech, you need to have a character for next week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play that game unless they rename it Final Fantasy Star Online.
That's a Final Fantasy only kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
Go
say?
to Final Fantasy 15 then.
No.
Or, 14. We can play that together.
And now there was a period of time where Tech was really was playing a lot of like kind of not super popular games and playing them to intense completion. I remember Radiata Stories, like Tech nailed Radiata Stories. Like,
How was that game?
Radiata Stories was really good, but I recently actually, like within the past like month or two, watched
hey
the
Keith,
end.
Keith's here. What's up?
What? Hey, Keith.
Keith, you got to be on the stream at some point next week or the week after at some point. I would love.
We got an open window for you.
Keith tried to post an image from Xenosaga, and it just ended up being this like gigantic stream of code.
Excellent.
Aww. Well,
Wonderful.
Keith, if you text it to me, I can pull it up. We can make this a truly interactive experience.
Wow.
Yeah, Keith, just send me a text with that image, and I'll pull it up in our window here.
Anyway,
There
Roddy
were-
Out of Stories isn't that good, to be honest, but it was cool at the time. But
Yeah,
it's
I was gonna say there's a lot of like PS1, PS2 era games that RPGs especially that I thought were amazing back then because it was like the only other game RPG that I had besides Final Fantasy.
yeah.
And then you realize that like there's so many better RPG systems out there, and that like there's a whole lot of like really average RPGs.
I
Yeah.
remember Roddy Out of Stories. Its big thing was that there were all these like character relationships, and
Well, there's like 100 characters that you can
Right,
get
yeah.
that can be in your
Mhm.
party, yeah, and you have to like do things to get them.
like
it's kind
Fire
of-
Emblem.
But you have a FOMO or regret if
Kinda
you
like
choose the
Suikoden.
wrong.
Yeah, and there's like a
it's okay.
24-minute day-night cycle, and I don't know. It
Wow.
was pretty cool. It's really lighthearted until the end, and then it gets really serious and heavy. But rewatching the end of it, I was like, wow, this is rough. Even like Final Fantasy X, the system is real. Like the battle system rules, in my opinion, and it's like the best of all the turn-based ones. But I like the dialogue and voice acting is so poor that it's like it like takes you out of it. It's like
It's pretty
I
bad.
mean, it's like really rough.
Also, like the weird amount of like in-game engines for graphics. There's like the like really polished like movie CGI graphics. There's like the better than the in-game render graphics, but they're
Yeah.
like on the in-game backgrounds. And then there's like talking scenes where they're using the in-game renders, and they. Oh my gosh.
Is that's
This,
the
this
picture he
is this
sent?
is not what he said.
That's-
This is from my archives. This is Keith circa 2000.
Oh my gosh.
4 3.
That's adorable.
He's wearing my Jedi robe though, and I do own that.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I
No,
expect you
this
to
is-
wear it next week.
This is what Keith was trying to link, and he
Oh yeah, that's cool.
and he
From Xenosaga,
That's
right?
kind of That's kind of look like you trying to dox me.
I remember thinking Xenosaga was a direct sequel to Xenogears and being confused.
Me too.
hope you
And then
like
you start
Blitzball.
playing it, and it's like,
There
Oh,
we go.
Aggro-Craggle.
Aggro-Craggle with that
Thank you,
$15
Aggro.
so much.
for the NAACP.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I think we
much.
called them Argo last time, but it's aggro.
aggro.
Yeah,
Aggro-Craggle.
Aggro,
Yeah, it's
aggro
like- it's like
craggle,
aggro
like
Remember the
like
Eclipse
guts.
Patreon.
Like guts. Do you have
Yeah.
it?
Oh,
aggro crag.
Lil Liam, I will put that on my video game shoe blog. This is a good. All of
Yeah,
Xenosaga.
yeah,
I need
wow.
to get in there.
Good.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's-
you have one of,
shout out to anybody who submitted from last week. I got a bunch of submissions, so
Nice.
thanks. Oh, those are just great.
Yeah, that's what we're looking
How
for.
about
I would wear
Cosmos?
those.
Doesn't
Those are like-
Cosmos have some cool kicks?
Oh my
What?
gosh,
The character Cosmos from
that's like the
Xenosaga?
that's-
How do you
she's the main
how do you
character.
spell
she's like the
Okay.
android.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Kosmos. She's like the android, one of the android protagonists.
I'm gonna look
Yeah,
it up.
you know what's funny about Xenosaga is I don't know why, but every time I played it, I would get a headache, and I stopped playing the game because of that.
Interesting.
And
I've
it's-
never. I've experienced headaches from like motion sickness. Like the original Metroid Prime on GameCube gave me motion sickness. Wolfenstein 3D gives me motion sickness.
Wow.
How are you with VR?
The graphics are just too good.
You know, I've only done like real VR once, and it was fine.
You got to come to my house in Philly. I got
Yeah.
quite a little setup.
I've been looking at VR sets, and they're all, you know, there's a shortage right now. So like even like used Valve indexes are going for like $1,400, and
What?
like used quests are going for like $600, and you know,
No
I think
way.
I'll
Oh man,
I'll
really?
just wait a little bit.
Whoa.
Until
Those
there's
are
no more
sick.
provision.
Wow. Yeah. So they're like
Yeah.
they're whole like boot things that go all the way up. But yeah, that is
Wow,
pretty cool.
Super
design.
cool.
amazing.
So yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's one for the one for your blog, Mark.
I'm gonna go.
So
do
yeah,
that
what's
right
up with
now.
like there's like Xenoblade Chronicles, and then
They're just like, hey, the word Xeno really gets these people going. Let's just make every word after it.
there's the Xenoblade Chronicles X on Wii U, and I originally thought that was just like a remake of Xenoblade Chronicles, but somebody's like, oh, that's a totally different game, and it's like in a different, like, it's not related to Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, if anybody in the chat
so
has a
confusing.
save file, if someone has a save file for Xenogears that is max stats that I can somehow play, I would love that.
Have you checked game FAQs?
I googled that like a week ago, and
Yeah.
I kind of lost energy after I scrolled a bit and stopped looking.
A while back, I started a new game on Suikoden 2, and you can transfer your save over from Suikoden 1, and certain events only happen if you have all of the recruitable characters from Suikoden 1. And I missed one character, and I had 3 different save files, and all 3 save files were like past the point where you were able to recruit that character. So I just downloaded somebody else's complete data. I was like, okay, I'm not going to replay the entire game to get like that last character, so I can have a clean save file to transfer.
We have
pretty much just a casual then.
Yeah.
Question in the chat: how do you transfer save files from a PS1 memory card to the PC? Does anyone have any hardware to recommend for that?
Yes. So Sony made a memory card adapter for the PS3 that plugs in via USB, and it takes PS1 memory cards. And I was lucky enough to get one out of a clearance bin at a play and trade here, like on the south side of Chicago. And yeah, they're like really expensive now. I think they're like $50 or $60, but you can transfer the data from your PC to a flash drive to a PS3, and then transfer it from the PS3 to a PS1 memory card, and then play that on your real PS1, or vice versa.
God damn it, James.
Oh man, you know, when we were setting all this up, you know, there was definitely a point where we were in the Skype call and we're like, okay, so how are we going to do this logistically? And everyone was just staring at each other, and it was like, all right, I'll set up the OBS, and this is your punishment.
All right, I didn't even do anything.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I pick on you, Tech, because it's just like my default mode. I should pick on Kevin a little bit.
It's fine.
I have a kind of a funny story about that whole you think you've done it and then you have to do it all again, or you don't do it all again and it sucks. When I first played Evolution on the Sega Dreamcast, the game with the really kind of cute characters.
The guy with the robot arm on the cover.
Yeah, Evolution Dreamcast. Not Seventh Cross Evolution, which was another really, really cool game, but this game.
There's 2 of those, right? I think there's a sequel too as well.
There is. That is also really, really dope. I mean, it's just a cool little dungeon crawler, very, very simple battle system, but like, you know, really fun to just play if you just want to play an RPG. Anyway, I got all the way to the end boss, could not beat the end boss. I thought it was because I was under-leveled, so I went to the last save point, and there was a room where I could go into in the final area where one enemy would keep respawning. I went in there, leveled up my character to like max level over the course of many like weeks, right? Re-went to the end boss. Turns out end boss's level is based on yours. And I had just fucked everything up. Or no, I didn't. It wasn't even that last save point. I restarted the game and went through every dungeon twice, so I would be a higher level by the end.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
Just to fuck yourself over.
Just to find out, yeah.
I almost brought up this story when Kevin was talking about.
Oh, really? You remember?
Yeah, that's our brain link.
Yeah, I'm not making it up, folks. I played the entire game twice, and then, but like 3 times total, and still couldn't beat it. And then finally,
where did Mark go?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there is.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Isn't correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Final Fantasy VIII kind of like that? I know 2 is. 2 is like the enemies.
8, yeah, the enemies level up with you.
Yeah.
But and to be honest, the game is a lot harder if you do that. Because I remember the first time that I ever beat the game, I was level 100 because you could actually get to level 100 in that game.
Yeah.
Instead of 99. And it like took me forever to beat the final boss, and then I beat it again later, like at like level 50 something, and it was like a breeze.
I also like maxed out the game hour counter at 99, 59, and all my characters were level 100, and I sat in that one spot where you can farm like Ultima. My magic, and I just like I just sat there and just farmed as much of it as I possibly could and junctioned it to like
everything.
Yeah. that file was so
classic,
time intensive.
James, why did you play this game? It looks so whack.
It was a Dreamcast. Cool. It was a Dreamcast RPG with like chibi kawaii characters. Yeah, I mean it was a cool just like. It was like a hub, and then you would fly off to these dungeons, and the dungeons were randomly assembled from all these different pieces. And as you got deeper into them, like the tile sets changed, and there was a whole system with your mechanical arm thing that it's how you would like level up and learn different spells and stuff. And it was, I don't know, it was just fun. I think there was like a PS2
monster
sequel.
training elements, right?
Was that this, or I think that was Time Stalkers, which is another Dreamcast RPG.
Okay.
Very similar to this game.
Dark Cloud 2?
No, this is Evolution. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just a more fun, cool RPGs from that era. But yeah.
Time Stalkers is from Climax, I believe, who did Landstalker and Alundra for PlayStation.
That was another game I played all the way through.
Both
that
very
I
challenging
really,
games.
really loved. Because
Alundra?
No, Time Stalkers.
Oh, I was gonna say Alundra is like so hard. That game is like I've never felt like throwing a controller in my life, but I did with Alundra.
When I got my Sega Dreamcast, I was coming from I had a Sega Saturn, then I had an N64. I never had a PlayStation. I never had a Super Nintendo. Oh, nice. Mark's got it.
Oh,
On my shelf. I never played it though. I've always wanted to.
So
You're
when
getting
I
green
cool.
screen.
by the time that I got
There you
a
go.
Dreamcast, I was so starved for JRPGs because I was obsessed with the idea of them and yet could not play them. So I had Evolution, Time Stalkers, the other Evolution, and it was Egg.
Yeah.
Egg was an
That game's
action
getting
RPG.
really hard to find now. Egg.
Oh, I should have held on to it.
Yeah.
And Seventh Cross Evolution was kind of a weird Evo style game. Skies of Arcadia, of course. Grandia 2. Like the Dreamcast fucking ruled for RPGs because they were all like mostly real time 3D. Like, I mean, this was like 1999, like it looked pretty good. It was before PS2 existed.
Yeah.
And then of course most of those
still
games,
looks better than PS2. Like PS2 maxes out at like 480i, and Dreamcast is like beautiful VGA.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, I loved Grandia too.
Yeah. Skies of Arcadia was just like, I remember playing Skies of Arcadia and being like, finally, I have a console that has like one of these incredible RPGs on it. Because, I didn't get to play Final Fantasy VII. I had to borrow my friend's PS1, and then I only got to the first disc and he wanted it back, and it was a drag. And that's why when Quest
I was
64
in that
came
boat
out,
for a while too. Like I had a PC, and I didn't have a home console till PS2. But I had a Game Boy, so I played all those like Final Fantasy Legend games, and
Oh shit.
played the PC version of Final Fantasy VII.
nice.
But yeah,
They
I
have
was
the
I was
mouths.
so starved for like any sort of a like console RPG experience, and I scoured every like Best Buy we ever passed as a kid. Like I got to see if they have Final Fantasy VIII PC version, but I could never find it as a kid.
I'm very lucky to have the memory of the first time I ever became aware of Final Fantasy. It was right before Final Fantasy VII came out, so I must have been in like the 6th grade or something. And I was on the road with my dad, and we were actually in California, and I went to a video game shop, and the like software etc. or Babbage's clerk or whatever, and this customer, some teenager, they were gathered around the CRT television just watching like the demo reel for 7 that was sent out to promote it to like all the stores, and I was just like, I had no idea what I was looking at. And then I'll never forget, it was Ifrit just like rising out like this, and the guy was like, yeah, the summons are going to be incredible in this game. And I was like, what the fuck is a summon? Like, oh my god. And I'll never forget that day because I had a fucking Saturn, and I was so starved for that kind of 3D RPG that I ended up getting Blazing Heroes, like begging my dad to get me this game called Blazing Heroes for,
Also known as Mystaria.
it had many, I think it had 3 different names.
Yeah, I think it had 3.
And so it's like, can I get Final Fantasy VII? And it's like, but we have Final Fantasy VII at home. And it's like, but this is the Final Fantasy VII that we have at home. Like, it was very... Oh, nice. Yeah, there's the... Oh, wow.
VHS.
That's it. That's like the video that I watched.
So
Holy
cool.
shit, Mark.
Mark, you're
What
so
the hell?
cool. You're such
Incredible.
a cool guy.
You guys remember this game though? If we're talking about classic PS1 games,
Oh,
Yeah.
Dude, I think about that game like seriously once a month, and I don't even know why. I just played the demo of it like on a Pizza Hut demo disc, but it was my first like real 3D experience because I didn't have a 64, so I couldn't play like Mario 64. But it was kind of whack, but also kind of awesome.
I had a very similar experience because my friend had the 64 before I did. Matt Ham, shout out, he donated last week. Good man. He had the N64 and I had the Saturn. And I would go to his house after school and play Mario 64 and be like, ah, and then go home to my Saturn, which I loved. But I would do things like play Nights into Dreams and then intentionally run out of time. So it's like the platforming part where you just have to like run around and get your orbs back.
Just pretended like you're playing Mario.
A little bit. Oh, that's nice.
What is that?
That's the Croc registration. But yeah, but Croc,
Amazing.
I used to rent Croc because it was one of the only 3D platformers that existed, along with like Gex, Enter the Gecko, and
Gex.
some other bullshit like that. And on a similar vein, Quest 64, I think, felt amazing because as an N64 owner, after being a Saturn owner, before being a PS2 owner, it was like, I need beautiful RPGs, and literally Quest 64 Ogre Battle, that was all that really ever came out on the N64.
Yeah.
Quest 64 is special though, because it's so obviously like the N64 dev kit. I'm so sorry, I'm talking too much about these games.
Oh no. I interrupted you. I was going to say, speaking of Gex, we have to show the Japanese artwork for Gex on PS1, which is called Spin Tail. I just texted it to the. Oh yeah, there you go.
Spin Tail,
it's amazing.
like that?
Spin Tail. Yeah.
Oh,
there you go.
Wow, that is
Look at that. It's so cool.
Wow.
Damn, that's crazy.
There it is in the packaging.
It's like a fancy lad.
That's like cool compared to like what we thought was cool.
He's like ready to go smoke out a jazz club with some steaming hot solos.
Our Gex was like quoting Ace Ventura or something.
Oh god, yeah, there was a lot of.
It's just a class act.
Well, that was
that was like a whole thing on PlayStation though. It was all these whack like Mario ripoff platformers, and every character had to be the coolest. Yeah, the Tood-era.
Yeah.
They all had sunglasses, and they would just say things like, I don't know, just.
So
it was just really not cool.
I think that like movie parodying was a big part of the Gex series. I think that was like part of its appeal because it was like Gex Enter the Gecko was like a James Bond.
He had like cool dude shades on. This guy looks more like James Bond than our Gex. Whatever.
Spin Tail.
Thanks, parody.
Let's see here. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Yeah, Gex.
Hey, Kevin, did you not do a Quest 64 cover?
Oh, he looks like James Bond there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did. It's on the bonus tracks for the cassette. I did the battle theme for Quest 64.
Oh, did I spoil it?
No.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be my new
phone background.
Oh,
it's it's really honestly I think
love
it's worth to close this out if we could just watch real quick the very opening cinematic of this game, because I was thinking about Gex also just a few months ago and ended up watching. Sometimes I just need to watch like a long play of a game, not the kind with people fucking talking the whole time, but just someone playing a game, and that's enough to scratch the itch. And then I'm like, okay, good. I don't have to plug in my Sega Saturn somehow and then like buy this game on eBay just to like play it for 5 minutes and then be like, all right, I'm done. And yeah, it was truly unbelievable. Just give me a moment here, and I'll route the audio in.
We need a Gex Croc mashup here.
Yeah.
Don't Google that though. I'm assuming that would be disturbing.
What if the band 100 Gex made branded Crocs as merch?
Oh Lord.
I would buy those.
Me too. I love 100 Gex.
I love Crocs.
I know you do.
I think this is the video I played here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off Spotify. And now I should be able to... This is the first time we've tried out this functionality. But yeah, I should be able to reroute this audio fairly easily real quick here. Let me just... I think
just 1 second here. We're...
I think it's possibly playing my system audio. Tell me, can you... One second, I am so sorry. Just talk amongst yourselves while I set this up.
I am going to post the Spotify playlist, the Neo Gaia Fantasy Spotify playlist, because we forgot to plug that in any meaningful way till right now. So here it is in the Twitch chat and in the YouTube chat. Anyway, we added more songs to that are really good. James's favorite band, Lamp, and there's a song from Final Fantasy VII too that really owns, and it's like even sweeter in the remake. But the remake isn't on Spotify, so I couldn't put it on there.
Oh, I know. I wish it was, but I bought it on iTunes. If you want it.
I've been listening to it. I downloaded it, but anyway. Yeah, we put Ice Choir on there, even though he told me not to. It's really good.
I liked that one. I've never heard Ice Choir, but I liked that track.
I was jamming Pink Floyd, so Pillow of Winds got on there with one of my favorite lines that I ripped off all the time as a teenager, Cloud of Eiderdown.
Yeah, I was going to say something about Eiderdowns, right?
Yeah, that's it. Cloud of Eiderdown.
Juan Carrietas, Rebecca Black is on there because that song rules, and Rebecca Black rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she does.
So listen to it, and like and subscribe, follow, click that bell icon.
So I'm wondering,
that MF and like.
I'm
notifications.
Wondering. So now this is kind of cool, right? So now we're watching the stream.
Whoa.
No.
So I'm gonna unmute this, and I'm just curious if
it's gonna feed back, isn't it?
Don't do it.
Okay, you're right.
Oh God,
you're right. I won't do it.
It's confusing quickly.
All right. Well, are you gonna play us out with the Gex video then? Is that
I just need to make sure that the audio works. So, can you guys hear this audio in the chat?
I cannot.
Well, I'm gonna.
All right, the chat can hear it. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, you can. You can in the chat. Yeah.
Sweet.
So everyone, you guys can watch on your chat if you'd like here.
Since retiring from the public's eye, I had resigned myself to a life of solitude. For 2
I've never seen
years,
this.
I started my day watching kung fu theater. Days, then weeks.
Great
blurred
animation,
into
though.
One long, greasy telethon. The next thing I
Great
know,
TV.
some government goons show up at my place.
Kind of socio-political statement being made here. Government goons.
Rez. He's back in the media dimension, and they think
Is that the Blues Brothers?
Ew,
Ew, they're so gross.
So
Blues Brothers 2000. The
N64
N64 game.
Stop giving me the business.
Like, I think this was for, like, teenagers, maybe? Holy shit.
Wow.
Wow.
Do a dib.
What?
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for that
much.
beautiful,
Incredible.
beautiful donation.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Amazing.
They throw in one of those secret agent suits,
Thank
and
you
I
very
tell them
much.
we got a deal. Looks like I'm headed back into the media dimension.
What is this game?
So
Are we
now,
watching
like, he's
the
been pulled
entire
back
game?
in.
100%
Yeah.
playthrough?
All
So
over
he thought he was out, and then they pulled him back in. They pulled him out of the terrarium.
I'm gonna send you guys the audio from
Holy
it so you can hear it.
Lord! No, I just watched it on the
Oh, okay, cool.
stream.
Is it like that Garfield game where they
That's sick.
go through all the
This song is
movies?
sick. Holy fuck.
Now I want to hear the song.
Oh, man. Look out for this on the next DDS. Yeah.
Oh shit! Wow.
Oh, I feel like I remember this.
All right.
Yeah, that is a jam.
And we're gonna watch the 100% complete.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and
We're
mute
just
that
gonna-
now. So we'll just let this play, but there's no more audio coming from it. So.
Just watch it again from the top.
Wow. It looks
Very, very foggy.
All right. Well, I think that
Awesome.
this is a good place to
Yeah.
stop for the night.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming in here. Turning off the
Hopefully we're-
world a little bit.
Yeah. Hopefully we were able to offer a little bit of levity.
Just a little bit of levity, because I think it was Carl Sagan in Cosmos, he's talking about, I forget who it is, it's this ancient scientist, like the guy who first successfully guessed the circumference of the Earth like 4,000 years ago or whatever. And he had a famous saying that a life without merriment, or levity in this case, is like a long road without an inn. So this is us stopping in the inn for the night, as playing the save jingle, and then we can all wake up and deal with what's happening. And it's important that we don't just hide our head in the sand, continue to say things, continue to speak your minds.
And thank you. Yeah, thank you very, very, very much to everybody who donated.
Huge thanks.
Yeah, it's incredibly helpful and kind and generous.
Just, keep in mind, it's not a meme, it's not a joke, it's not a Twitter pissing match, it's not about trolls, and it's not about canceling, and it's not about any of that. It's about cops in the street tear gassing citizens. And if you have a problem with that, or if you are going to make excuses and say that peaceful protests deserve to be broken up by tear gas. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But we still, this love warms my heart. And all of the donations tonight are super encouraging and super amazing. And we'll post on Twitter once we talk to George to figure out exactly how much was donated tonight. But, I mean, it was a substantial amount.
And again, that's going...
awesome.
I'm really, really stoked.
Yeah. That's going to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, just so everybody knows in case you came in late.
Yeah, we were looking at who to donate it to. It looks like a lot of the bail funds, luckily, are just flush with cash right now, which is incredible. So this was sort of like next on our list. So we'll just take it from here. So, all right.
We'll leave you with this. Do geckos really like carrots? Because that's what he's collecting, is like a coin type, maybe. What a whack game. Anyway,
yes, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who participated in the chat and donated, and we'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.